Hope you are doing well. Hope you are moving forward. Hope you are working on your ascension process, on your health, on your wealth, on moving forward is the real key to all of this. So we have to keep moving forward. I did a video this morning which said that we are at war, and this is not a it's not like watching a football game in your living room. You really have to get involved. And by that, I meant, and I've been saying this off and on in different ways for many years, but you need to be creating the reality that you want to really exist in outside of the matrix, in my opinion. Whether it be living off grid, growing your own vegetables, starting your own business, humanitarian projects. If you really want to do, we have this thing, we have this caption from kind of from the White Hats, kind of from the Republic, the military, about if you want to submit a humanitarian project to the White Hats when the time comes, that there's some forms you could send away to military outreach at Republic for the United States of America.org and just put in the subject heading Ellie's Warriors, or you could just join the Republic. I put it's republic4usa.org and get involved. I think it's essential. I thought to myself of a few years back, I saw some podcasters saying that we have to get involved with local politics. And the idea of getting involved with local politics the way they are now is sickening to me. It's absolutely sickening. I don't want any part of that corruption of this. These people have been left to their own. They have not been challenged properly, in my opinion. But when I say you want to work towards developing your own local area, that means joining the Republic. And here, let me put that website up. Right, joining Republic for USA and get involved with establishing the Republic in your local township, in your local county. I'm one of the members. Hey, Rockstar M5542. I'm one of the founding fathers, if you will, of the Mojave County Republic. What an honor. What a great thing. What a great way to spend your time. I'm not dealing with county politics. I'm not dealing with educational issues, with diversity issues. I'm dealing with establishing the Republic in Mojave County, which is huge. And as I've said before, the White Hats told Sandy, who is like the Secretary of State of the Republic, told Sandy that when there are 30,000 people per state registered in the Republic and all the various offices, which isn't very many, are filled, then the White House will institute GESARA elections, which is 120-day elections for our leaders. So the interim government will be this Republic, and they will kind of hold the fort while the elections are taking place. Now, somebody told me that, or I think I learned from Karen, who is the governor of Arizona, that the local people, like my position in Mojave County as the bailiff of Mojave County, will possibly not change it during the election. The election will focus more on national politics. The government will be 10% of the size that it is now, and we'll be going into GESARA and NESARA. With that said, we don't have 30,000, and this is really kind of unbelievable when you think about it. Why don't we just have 30,000 people per state? Why can't that be accomplished in a matter of a couple of days? Well, it could be. It could be if there was enough enthusiasm and enough people sharing the message. I think we could re-inhabit the republic in a matter of a few days, and then we could move into the next era. But without that, people, it seems to me that everyone is waiting. We're waiting for the EBS. We're waiting for XRP to go to the moon. We're waiting for the revaluation. We're saying to ourselves, as soon as it's okay, I'm going to start living the life I've always wanted to lead. That is a huge mistake, in my opinion. You should be living the life you've always wanted to lead now. Why do you need to wait for the permission of the parasites? That's what we've been doing. We've been controlled by these parasitic forces, the deep state, the Illuminati, the demons, the democrats, for a long time. And this is not a political thing. This is not Republicans and Democrats. It's not China and Russia. It is deep state versus humanity. And the roots to this conflict are not surfacey kinds of things. This goes way back to the origin of our species, however that looks. We don't really understand our history. We think that the history, David Lester Straight, I saw him once, and he said there are zero history books written before 1900. They've all been removed. We still see the remnants of the Tartarian maps. There was a highly advanced civilization on the planet, as evidenced by some of the buildings that we see around us. They're tremendous. Excuse the wind here. It's very windy right now. This happens a lot in the mountains and in the desert. Brian Best, spiritualbeingcoffee.com. Check it out. Great website, organic coffee. Great person, great people from Prescott, Arizona, home of the Wyatt Earp coffee and New Morning Coffee, based on a song that I actually wrote with my friend. But so I wanted to just touch on this history because I'm seeing some of these things coming up. They were saying that Lake Mead, which I had no connection to this whatsoever, but for some reason, the powers that be moved us over into this area. We're not far from Las Vegas, and we drive by Lake Mead quite a bit. But according to the Tartarian researchers, there is a city beneath Lake Mead that they wanted to keep from us, just like there are artifacts in the Grand Canyon and many other places. In Chicago, the World's Fair, they destroyed all those buildings. The fire of Chicago. This all is a reference to the Tartarian way of looking at things in terms of our history that has been completely corrupted. They're saying that this attack may have taken place around 1776. The mud floods, certainly the early 1800s, there were some mysterious times like dark winters and this sort of thing. So we don't really know our history. We assume that the Freemasons, why do they call themselves Freemasons? Because they took over all these advanced buildings for free. They got the buildings for free. And these are the same creepazoids that have shepherded humanity into a dark corner, into using fear and loosh. They work for multidimensional or interdimensional demons, and the demons harvest our fear, harvest our ill feelings, harvest our sickness. Do we have any idea how many people in the Republic have signed up to date? Yes, I do. I actually do, and it's an embarrassing number, but I'll give it to you. From what I understand, there are 17,000 people have signed up for the Republic in the entire country. That is embarrassing, man. We need to act. We need to do stuff. I need to. I'm talking to myself, pointing fingers at myself. I need to encourage people to join the Republic. But yeah, that's what I heard. 17,000 per the whole country. It's embarrassing. Because everyone is sitting at home waiting for the EBS. We're all waiting to be saved. We're watching to see when it's safe. Is it safe to go out now? Is it safe out there? Like that movie the, about the you know the Nazi dentist. Is it safe? Is it safe to go out? Is it safe to do something? Is it safe to question my job, question my net worth? Is it safe to do something? Will I lose it all? I mean, and really, to join the Republic, it doesn't ask you to violate. It doesn't say don't pay your taxes, join the Republic. Don't buy insurance, join the Republic. Don't get involved in their satanic legal situations, join the Republic. We're just saying join the Republic. And the White Hats have told Sandy Marecki that when there are 30,000 people per state. So the answer is 17,000 in the whole country. It's embarrassing. Why not more? I don't know. Because nobody wants to do anything. And also my channel has a very, they're shadow banning me or something. No, and nobody really wants to know. Nobody wants to hear this kind of news, which I think is real deal news. I'm telling you the truth. I study this stuff. We study this stuff. We have people up here. Jesus is the Messiah of Israel. Yeah, you got it. I'm really glad you came onto my channel. Really. Okay. So yes, you should be eliminated. Please don't bother me. I'm Jewish, and I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in somebody whose name doesn't even have isn't even in the Hebrew alphabet. There's no J. There's no real word Jewish. That was put on us by these Illuminati creepazoids, okay, that who have run the world and have taken all our power, all our money, kept us in fear, kept us in debt slavery, kept us with medicines that make us sick, and food that makes us sick, and water, and fluoridating the dental things, all these poisons that they've fed us. And we just we're just observers. We're like, hey man, I went to my dentist and he gave me fluoridated treatment. That's you once you understand what's going on. Or I had cancer, so I went and I got chemotherapy and now I'm dying, or I have 3 months to live, or I'm in remission. That's just it's inexcusable for people on this channel anymore to not have educated themselves. You have ivermectin, you have bendazole, you have all these cures, all these apricot seeds, all these many cures. There was some mouse protein or something that cures cancer almost instantly. But this is a war, and we cannot sit idly by waiting to be saved. It's like I'm waiting for the cavalry. I'll just take all the slings and arrows and let them shoot at me while I'm waiting for the cavalry. That is not acceptable behavior, in my opinion. We must be actively involved. And this is a war to the death of humanity. They have tried to kill us in every way imaginable, through food, through water, through medicine, through legal things, through banking scams. They have tried to kill us. So we cannot just sit by and go, hey, man, I'm waiting for the Clarity Act to be signed so I'll have enough money to do what I really want to do. I don't think that's acceptable behavior anymore. We have to, at any rate, when the shift does come, and from what I'm getting from my source who's up here now, it's not the disclosure hasn't even really reached the level that needs to happen for us to formally start arresting all these creepazoids. That's coming from a source that I have contact with now. But so we need to get it together, man. I mean, because think about it this way. Let's say the Clarity Act comes and your XRP goes to the moon, and the EBS comes and everybody knows what's going on. If you sat idly by and you let this whole thing unfold without doing something, you're just going to be perpetrating the same kind of death walk that we've been on for centuries. You'll just be another person that's passive, submissive. Okay, man, they're trying to kill me. They're killing us in a different way. They put in. I mean, I'm hearing these things about in the Clarity Act. They're putting that this Pocahontas creepazoid put in something about 15-minute cities in the Clarity Act. It's a 300-page act, but we need to be involved. We need to at least join the Republic and get active, be actively involved in creating a new government, at least locally. Because when the shift does happen, we don't want to be, we'll just be like, I was really aware of all of this. I knew everything was going down, and I waited for the end. You're going to be this. That's just like you're just a sheep in patriot clothing. You're just another sheep. It's like, oh, I'm just waiting to be saved, man. And I was include myself. We are no different from the so-called normies that we look down upon. We're just patriot normies. We're like, hey, man, I'm highly educated. I know exactly what's going on. What am I doing about it? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the EBS. EBS. I got all these podcasters that are telling me the EBS is coming in a couple of weeks. Really? Okay. I mean, we've been knowing, we knew about the EBS 5 years ago on this channel, and for like 5 years ago we were like, is it coming on Friday, Thursday, or Friday? But we know it's coming soon. So that was 5 years ago, man, and there's still people saying it's coming next week. And we're still listening, and we're not doing anything. We're not we're not becoming active participants in our own survival. This is, in my opinion, I'm looking back at my own timeline of my own evolution in terms of my own consciousness. Years ago, about 30 years ago, I was a diehard liberal working in the university as a educational researcher. I had some very interesting ideas about language education that were, everything that I did was just, oh yeah, that's nice. You're cute. It's like, I was just like, it was just, I've been disregarded by the best of them. But answering the problem to language education in the world was not of interest in educational research. They had bigger things in their mind to do, which is basically just waste our time and not even institute anything that really matters, just to have another meeting. Let's have another meeting and justify our existence instead of really tackling the real issues. Why did I get off on that tangent? I don't know, but I'm just saying that, okay, so my evolution, in terms of my evolution in consciousness, I had fled. I had a construction company. I was a remodeling company in near New York City for 20 years, and it just was, I couldn't do it anymore. It was it was too painful. But anyway, I started going off on some tangents, and one of the big tangents, one of the things that I learned, I believe it was at that time, was there's an author named Zecharia Sitchin. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And we got this Jesus. You really want to? They know it annoys me, so they're doing it. Okay, good. Okay, so Zecharia Sitchin, what did he say? He said that in the Old Testament there was a reference to the fallen angels that came down and started mating with the daughters of humanity. They found them attractive, and they started reproducing with the women of the world, these fallen giants. The Nephilim means those who fell. So this was an interesting theory that caught my attention at the time. So he talked about this race of extraterrestrials that were kind of rogue, that went rogue, enslaved the people of the world, and had them basically mine for gold, which is kind of like one of my interests also. They had them searching for gold and collecting gold across the planet for their own purposes, whether they needed it for stargates or whatever. But this has been this road, this idea, this thought stream evolved somehow into the destruction of, I mean, I don't know the timeline, but the destruction of humanity. We have been completely obliterated in a lot of senses. I'm kind of changing my tone here. A couple of months ago, I was just like, everything is okay. It's just that we just have to wait, which I still believe is true. However, there is a vicious parasitic organization that has infiltrated the entire world, every country, every organization, every city council, every school board, every, tax office, every account, they are everywhere, every university. These people have infiltrated everywhere. Have they all been arrested yet? I don't know. I tend to think not. But there is this Illuminati strain. There is this satanic, demonic led bunch of power hungry, money hungry creepazoids that have been running the world and feeding off our negative energy. A good night from Trinidad. Wow. Thanks for stopping in. How many people are the Republic? Yeah. So, okay, so that has to be part of this thing. Now, how does this all fit together? I have no idea. How does it happen that Lake Mead was created to cover some kind of gigantic Atlantean style civilization, or all these buildings that we see throughout the world that we couldn't build today, that don't have bathrooms? There's so many questions, and to all this, it's so much deeper than, when is EBS going to come? When is XRP going to go to the moon? This is a consciousness issue. This is an ascension issue. Okay. Yeah. So there's two clips that I wanted to focus on tonight. So let's deal with one at a time. I thought these were interesting and these relate. I wanted to just kind of throw out a kind of a net in terms of trying to figure out who we are and where we come from. And a lot of people are assuring us, you're going to find out soon. There's going to be a solar flash. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. We're all going to be saved, and kumbaya. It's all going to be good. All the people that got vaccinated, a lot of people, I think it was, what is the number of vaccination people? What percentage of the population has been vaccinated? No, nobody wants to tell me. Okay. A lot of people have been vaccinated. Are they still the same? I don't know. Would they be open to receiving another jab? Maybe. President Trump has come out, at least allegedly has come out and said all vaccines are dangerous. All vaccines. And they certainly should never be given to children. We have to find our own knowledge. We can't rely on the government, on the good guys in the government to look out for us. They were the ones who perpetrated this Holocaust against humanity. But it's in line with the basic idea that we are farm animals being farmed by these evil demonic forces, that 8 million children go missing a year. Has this all stopped in the last, we read about, they arrested a bunch of people, a bunch of pedophiles, and we think to ourselves, the White Hats are really cleaning it up. This may just be the tip of the iceberg. This is a war against a force that is dedicated to destroying humanity, to killing us. And they came pretty close during this during this last episode with the COVID vaccine. It's just that the White Hats and President Trump came out at the right time in the right place, and they let us learn for ourselves. Trump didn't come out and say this is an evil vaccine and stay away from it. They allowed us to learn on our own. So I'm going to play these two. I want to share these two information things that I think are important. Okay, this is 2027. And okay, I have to go back to this and expand it. Okay, let's see. The year. All right, that didn't do it. Let's see if I can show more. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to go back. This is steps, this right steps, and we'll go there. Okay, let's share this together. I'm going to go here because it makes it bigger for me, and then maybe I'll have a chance of seeing it. Okay, okay. So let's just go through this thought stream from Jordan Crowder. What's coming in 2027? It's not a single event. It's a tipping point of no return. For most of human history, civilization has been built on controlled information, which is what I've been talking about. Governments held secrets. Intelligence agencies controlled classified knowledge. Universities controlled, quote, expertise. Media controlled narratives. Religion controlled cosmology. But AI is beginning to destabilizing all of it at once. That's the part people aren't fully grasping yet, because the real disruption of advanced AI may not be physical at first. It may be I can't pronounce it, some big word. I don't know what he means, but he says, who controls the truth? Who controls hidden knowledge? Who controls reality itself? Who controls reality? As AI advances, secrecy becomes harder and harder to maintain. Pattern analysis explodes. Anomaly detection explodes. Open source intelligence explodes. A single person with AI tools may soon be capable of uncovering connections that once required entire intelligence agencies. And the people at the top know this, which raises a fascinating possibility. What if the slow drip disclosure we're seeing right now, and that's what I've been saying, the UFO files, the classified programs, hidden historical information isn't random at all? What if institutions are preparing for a future where secrets become impossible to contain? Because if governments know that AI will eventually surface hidden information anyway, then controlled disclosure becomes smarter than catastrophic disclosure. That would explain why UFO disclosure, consciousness research, and AI acceleration all seem to be emerging simultaneously. And maybe that's what 2027 actually represents. Not aliens landing, not apocalypse, not a convergence of singularities. A moment where humanity can no longer fully contain the old reality model intact. And that's where it gets interesting. Because once the old model starts cracking, people begin asking bigger questions. What if consciousness is more fundamental than we thought? What if reality is stranger than materialism assumed? What if myths encoded truth? What if humanity isn't the center of the story? Maybe the real event coming in 2027 isn't something arriving from the outside. Maybe it's the moment humanity collectively realizes that the world is far more mysterious than we were taught. All right, so this is a very interesting thought stream, in my opinion. And I'm going to go from this thought stream to another thought stream that I think is quite delicious. I see we haven't gained any new trolls since I wasn't watching the communication feed on the side. I'm noticing, by the way, that my numbers are down right now because I'm not. I've taken a slightly different turn, and people are not interested in understanding yet, understanding the truth, because they want to be coddled. And I feel like I was pretty much coddling people. It was like the XRP is coming, we're all going to be rich. I mean, this is my hope. I still maintain, I know that eventually that will happen. But to think that it's going to happen when the Clarity Act is passed, to think that the EBS is coming next week, to think that we're all going to be saved, to think that the evolution of even the geology, the geography of our day, of Alberta joining the United States, of Canada joining the United States, of Greenland, of Mexico, of forming. We've known about this from Jassar Nassar for a long time. But to think that this is going to happen in the next couple of weeks before July 4th is quite a leap of faith. However, if I was on that thought pathway, I would be looking at twice the numbers that I have now, because people want to hear the good news that it's happening. We don't, and I include myself, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to join the Republic. We don't want to give up our our Netflix things. We don't want to. We have food to eat. We have all these comforts. We don't want to give up any part of it in order to save humanity, because most of humanity will probably never wake up. But there is a fraction of humanity that, and I think it's well represented on this channel, that has the capability to wake up and do something. Join the Republic. I don't know. Maybe there are just not that many humans left now, that everyone's been consumed by this vaccine. I don't know. There are cures. There are lots of things. Hey, Reverend Jim Jones. There are lots of Reverend Jim Jones, right? There are lots of things that could be done to reverse aging, to reverse disease, to reverse poison and that kind of thing. Hey, Golden Arrow from the mountains of Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky is beautiful, man. I love the mountains there. It's a bit more lush than it is, and you get a lot more rain than we do in the Mojave. But I thought to myself, seriously, I have a friend named Rabbi Green, who has started a community in Kentucky, and I could understand how he could do that. Personally, for as a woodsman, I don't want to be around Lyme's disease. That's a really big reason to move to the West Coast. I don't know if they're spreading it out here as well. I've heard they're trying to spread it out here, but the creeps, they may not be just giving it up. That's the thought stream I'm examining now. My handle is a cautionary reminder not to drink the Kool-Aid. Okay, cool, man. I'm glad you're not a troll. Right. We do not need to drink the Kool-Aid. And part of the Kool-Aid is XRP is going to come along and everything's going to be fine. And Trump's going to, and July 4th, we're all going to go. July 4th, we're all going to go into the new age and everything's going to be kumbaya. That may be the Kool-Aid that we have learned to drink. Real name is Randy. Cool, man. Yeah, I had some friends named Randy in my life.
You have to drink it fast.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I own a 10K of XRP. That's wonderful. And I think you're going to make a lot of money eventually. But is it going to happen next week when the Clarity Act is passed? Or is the Clarity Act going to pass? Or are the banks going to throw some other wrenches into it? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But that sounds really good, man. You're all set up, and you're doing you're taking action, and from there you become an investor, and you start looking at the world differently. You stop being enslaved by their ridiculous jobs and all this other nonsense. Okay, so let's go now. I want to go to another post that I thought was quite interesting. Let's see if I can find this. Let me just bring it up here. Okay, there's something else I want to see. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let's go back. Now let's examine. You follow me back in New York. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm taking a little bit of a turn because I have a friend up here, and we're waiting for 5 years. So you're good, right? That's it. We've learned how to wait, and that's a very important skill. I was thinking about the idea of a soldier. That what does a soldier do? A soldier learns to wait. A soldier trains his whole life for he could 20 years. He could be in the service for 20 years for 5 minutes in the battlefield for his deployment. And so to us, we have to wait gracefully. And I believe that while we're waiting, we should be building. Thanks, Jim Jones. I appreciate it. Hey, Linda. Good to see you. Yeah, we've all been waiting. We've become good at waiting. We're soldiers. This is a war. We're in a war. So we need, and we are the civilian division of this war. How many of us that are left that can still think straight, that are still interested in liberation, that are ready for the new age? I think a lot of us are here on this channel. See, I'm going up to 89 people. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, okay. So let's go to this other thing. I think this is a very interesting post, and I'll try to read it if I can without abandoning the chats here. Let's see if I can read this. Let's try that. If I go like that, then I don't get the chats. Okay. So it is. Let me just before I do this, let me just ask. Are there any people on YouTube that have the wrench to deal with someday play guitar for us? Yeah, I have to play guitar for myself. I actually got my guitar out about a week. Was it like a week ago? And I am planning to finish the song "Growing in Our Thinking." Right, we're growing in our thinking. We've gone through so many phases, and I think that's the beauty of this channel. And I see that my visage, my face, that I am out there on the internet from 5 years ago saying something about the Holy Temple 5 years ago. That now it's somebody has resuscitated this version of myself. But we are constantly moving and changing, in my opinion. And yeah. So my latest thinking is that we're not there yet, and we need to stay ready. We need to stay ready. We need to keep progressing, and we need to join the republic, and really start to institute it on a local level. I look younger and healthier. Yeah, well, I live in the desert now. I live a very active life, and okay, healthy. So I take these patches. I recently realized I did a meeting with Dr. Stacy today. These are I'm gonna switch captions, and then I'm gonna go into one more a rather lengthy post. Let's see if I can. No, that's not what I wanted to show. No, that's not. Oh, hold it. Okay, here we go. Okay, I want to encourage people to keep working on their health. I am healthier, and I attribute a lot of my good health to using these patches. These patches are phenomenal. They put nothing in your body. They are designed to reflect your own light back into your system. They were the first patch was designed for the Navy SEALs 20 plus years ago. So there's a lot of evidence, a lot of studies done on these patches. But this is an aloe vera patch, but I have an X39 patch and X49 on today, and I always have X39. I was telling Dr. Stacy recently that about 3 or 4 months ago, I was really suffering from back pain, and it's gone. It's completely gone. And I attribute it to the patches because X39 resets your stem cells. Stem cells are what younger people have a lot of, and the stem cells will make you young again. And as well as there's a group of patches called the Y-age patches, which is glutathione, uh, um, glutathione. Yeah, what's glutathione? What's the other patch? Carnosine and Eon. Eon reduces inflammation both internally, both mentally and physically. These are incredible patches. So, and there's also something called Celergize, which gives you all the nutrients that these patches need in order to function and become younger, really, to reverse aging. That, and I'm not allowed to make a claim like that, but that is what the inventor David Schmitz is really after, is reverse aging. And what he has done recently is they've come out with this water machine that infuses light into your water, and almost 100% of people are now saying that they feel it within 15 seconds. Their whole body resets. They have tremendous energy. It's advised not to drink this water after 3 o'clock in the afternoon because it may keep you up at night. But it is a tremendous innovation. The inventor, David Schmidt, has figured out how to place 6 wavelengths of light into the water. And when you drink this water, people are saying that their vision is different. We had a friend from the channel who bought one of these machines, and she said she feels like she's in 5D. It changes your reality. It changes your perception. So let me just play a quick clip about this technology. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, let's try this.
Directly into the body. Introducing the LifeWave X2O water technology system, the first and only water technology system that infuses water with light. Using patented light infusion technology, the result is hydration optimized at the cellular level, supporting metabolism and nutrient absorption. And through hydrogen infusion, delivering antioxidant properties that support the body's natural defenses. When hydration works at the cellular level, you feel it where it matters. You drink it, you feel it. A new era in cellular hydration, powered by light. LifeWave X2O.
It's an incredible technology that we were graced to be a part of this thing. But you have to be a brand partner in order to. Do you have to be a brand partner to order one? Yeah, you have to be a brand partner, which means that you bought a core pack or more, and then you become a brand partner. And if you share one of these incredible machines with another person, you will make a commission of $1,000. So it could be a very lucrative business to get into these X2O machines. But we're very excited about it. We've been trying to buy one. We have a nice person on the channel who's donated to Daniela, is giving her the money. So we've been trying to buy it. Apparently, they have a limited supply for the next 2 weeks, and then they're going to really go into overdrive. But if you really want one of these machines right away, you have to order a little before 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, because they've been coming out with 500 a week in the last couple of weeks. But in the future, they'll have many more. But this is a technology that people are saying is light changing. As is, in my opinion, the X39 and all these other patches are light changing. However, with the X39, with the Celergize nutrients, the the supplement that you drink, with all the patches, X49, all the patches that we use, glutathione, very important patch to use, carnosine, of course, SP6. There are a lot of really great patches, but with the patches, it takes time. I've experienced miraculous effects from these patches, but I've been using the patches for 3.5 years. I no longer get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom 5 times. I don't have that kind of problem issue anymore. I can stand on one leg. I don't nap anymore. I used to live for my naps. I don't nap at all. And recently, my back pain has just completely gone away. So these patches, I think, are really amazing, and I encourage everyone to get involved. You can sign up under me. You could call Dr. Stacy. You could sign up under Daniela. Either way, it's good for us. And you could sign your friends up, your family, and introduce them to good health. Think about it. You don't have to die from cancer anymore. You don't have to die from their terrible cures. You can use ivermectin. You can use fenbendazole. You can use the LifeWave patches. And if you have gotten vaccinated, for example, Dr. Stacy recommends Eon, X39, and glutathione. Glutathione is the master antioxidant. If you get glutathione pills, it doesn't have a good half-life in your body. It basically goes away almost right away. But if you use the patch, you will flood your body with glutathione, which is very important in detoxing. So all these things we need to find out about. We don't need to be passive anymore, in my opinion. We need to join the Republic. We need to get these products, or it's change your diet, change your lifestyle. I don't know how people live in the city with all the 5G towers. I don't know why somebody would want to do that to themselves, but there are people who are they're just too comfortable to move. If you want, and I've been offering this to people, if you really you have never really thought about living off grid and you want information about it, you want to visit us, I can help you. I can show you some basic things that you need to know. But in Arizona, where I live, there you could buy land for not a lot of money. You can buy, a lot of acres for not so much money, because nobody wants to live here. And then you can build your palace like I'm building now. I'm building the house that I can't. I'm building a $1 million house on a teacher's pension. It's going to be a spectacular earthship. It's my dream house, but I'm doing it for like tens of thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't have an architect. I have a lot of carpentry skills because I was a general contractor for many years. So I know basically what to do. A brand partner or a monthly subscriber. I think if you're a monthly subscriber, you're automatically a brand partner, isn't it? Wouldn't they be a brand partner if they were a monthly subscriber? I think so.
Because the preferred customer can still do it.
Preferred customers can still get the machine? They can't. Okay, so but just check on it. You could always call Dr. Stacy and she'll help you. But I think if I'm having a problem being a monthly subscriber for 2 years of using them, yeah, we'll call Dr. Stacy. I don't know what your problem is, but you could call Dr. Stacy. You could call us, and we'll help you. We'll try to walk you through it, whatever it is. I've used patches before. They are amazing, but not now. Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to decide. We've decided recently, and not for a long time, that the patches are as important to us as our groceries. That good health is not an option anymore. That we have this technology and we use it. It can add up, but we feel it's worth it. I mean, people pay tens of thousands of dollars for health insurance. Why? So you can go get poisoned by, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Everyone has to make their choice. But yeah, you could call us, call Daniela, or email Daniela, or Instagram. Let me give you Daniela's Instagram here while I'm here. Yeah, you could, I guess, I don't know how to use Instagram. Is that the best way to reach you, baby?
Yeah, I guess doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You could call her, you could email her. I have her other contact information. Here's uh uh yeah, here's some more contact information. Let's see if I can slow this down. But you could get a hold of, text or call Daniela, or send her a Gmail, or just go to our website, whatever. But yeah, if you're having issues, call us. Maybe it sounds like maybe you're have ordering issues. That's something that Dr. Stacy is really good at. If you're having those kind of issues, but don't suffer in silence. Get it done. The LifeWave community is very responsive, and we want to share this technology with a lot of people. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to this last bit of info. Let's go back to the captions. I mean, back to here. Yeah, I feel younger and healthier. I mean, we also have a very active lifestyle. We're building a house, so we're pretty busy. We went for a walk today with Danielle up the mountain to look for rocks. So we had a good time. But I'm really enjoying my life in Arizona. It's a lot of challenges. We go through a lot of challenges because we're off grid and we're just learning how to do all this stuff. But it's great. I'm guessing brand partner means it doesn't necessarily mean sell patches. It means you'll get a discount. That's why we encourage people to become a brand partner. Maybe we'll extend to long-time customers. Yeah, but if you're a brand partner, you just get a better deal. If you're a long-time customer, it would pay to be a brand partner, because you'll get a really good discount on everything you buy. You don't have to share it. That's something for some people that's good, so not for everyone. Okay, so let me go to this last bit of info that I wanted to share. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I think I have it all keyed up. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's look at this together. The battle for reality, how the White Hats are dismantling the deep state across all dimensions. I think this is an interesting article. I haven't gone through it. We're going through it together as a community, but I think this is a very interesting article. The battle for reality, how the White Hats are dismantling the deep state across all dimensions. I've explored these topics extensively in my writings, and now I offer a broad 100,000-foot perspective on my current holistic understandings. This is from, let me just get this is from Observing Consciousness, which I follow on X. I find their insights quite interesting. The ongoing battle between, I'm not going to read all of this. I just want to read some key points, and maybe I'll just hit the bullet points. But the ongoing battle. This is a war. They have tried to kill us with the Holocaust, the recent Holocaust, the vaccine thing, and in many different ways, with the food, with the chemtrails, with the water, with the fluoride in your toothpaste. I mean, this is not by accident. These people did not make a mistake. This is not carelessness on their part. This is an active war for the survival of humanity. And we need to step up, or I need to step up to the plate and approach it for what it really is. But the ongoing battle between the White Hats and the deep state is unfolding across several interconnected dimensions. political, spiritual, psychological, quantum, and societal. The conflict transcends simple governance and power struggles. It's not Democrats and Republicans. It's not Chinese and Russians. Reaching into the realm of reality itself, how individuals perceive the world, connect with their inner selves, and relate to each other. The deep state uses fear, deception, and division, what is often described as negative truth, to trap humanity in a false lower vibrational reality, a lower density, like third density. On the other hand, the white hats employ truth, love, and natural law to break the deep state's hold on society, guiding humanity through a process of awakening and ascension. What makes the white hat strategy particularly effective is its ability to surpass and co-opt the very methods the deep state uses. While this deep state relies on manipulation and division, the white hats orchestrate a methodical awakening by leveraging advanced communication techniques, feedback loops, and high-frequency truths. The following analysis delves into how this battle unfolds across various dimensions, explaining the role of communication, narrative control, and advanced technologies such as AI, Space Force, and Starlink in this global awakening process. I think this is and this is kind of a good follow-up to the last thing. Again, I'm not interested in what's really going on with the Clarity Act. It's a wonderful thing. I hope it goes through, and and the banks will. But this is about reality itself, which is right up my. This is exactly what I like to think about, which is metacognition, thinking about thinking. Okay, I'm not going to go through each point, but I'm just going to read a little bit from each. Political dimension, shaping narratives versus revealing the truth. That's why a lot of people want to get on the internet to find out the truth. There is none. Literally is no truth. It's not Walter Cronkite telling you what's really going on in the world anymore. In the political arena, the deep state secures control by manipulating elections, placing puppets in positions of power, and driving global policies through corporate dominance and media monopolies. Their method hinges on controlling narratives using communication theory concepts like agenda setting and framing to dictate what issues the public should care about and how these issues should be understood. The white hats have countered this approach by taking control of key communication platforms and using, like X, and using real-time feedback systems to expose the deep state's manipulations. So the deep state's political approach, I'm not going to go delve into each of these points, but the deep state relies on agenda setting of telling you what to think about, what you should be focusing on, what actresses, what movie you're watching, it's diabolic. The deep state entities such as BlackRock and Vanguard control large portions of the global economy, giving them leverage over the public. So they have the media, they have these corporate raiders, everything. The White House, by contrast, focus on revealing the corruption within these systems. They strategically expose election fraud, corporate media manipulation, and the ways in which global policies are driven by hidden interests. Through executive orders, legal action, and selective disclosures, they dismantle the infrastructure of control that the deep state has built over time. Okay, and they're saying Twitter is one of these big things. Spiritual dimension, consciousness suppression versus awakening. On a deeper level, the battle between the white hats and the deep state is spiritual. The deep state has worked for centuries to suppress human potential, trapping people in lower vibrational states of fear, anger, and division. through media, materialism, and trauma. They keep humanity disconnected from higher consciousness. Like religions, they don't like religions trap you in this dogmatic thinking instead of just saying, you want to talk to God, just talk to God. He's right in front of you. He's right with you. Anyway, that's my own thing. The White Hats, however, are orchestrating a global awakening using truth to elevate collective frequency and activate spiritual abilities that have long been dormant. Right. We are different. We can't be controlled and want to think our way through the awakening. Yeah, absolutely, Linda. We are working at this. This is a process. Deep state spiritual suppression. Okay, I don't want to go into this, but they manipulate energy and emotion, ensuring that the population remains in a constant state of fear and survival. By contrast, the white hat, by constantly pushing fear-based narratives. And that's what I'm saying. You could be on patriot channels and you're still getting the same energy. You're putting out the same energy that the normies put out because it's fear-based. You're doom scrolling and you're like, oh my God, they're doing this, they're doing that. There's no way out. That's just as bad as the normies. White hat spiritual ascension. In contrast, the white hats recognize that truth is more than just information, right? It's not about what's really happening. It's information. It's metacognition. It's thinking about thinking. It carries an energy that raises vibrational frequencies, higher states of consciousness by gradually revealing truths, whether through cue drops or alternative media. The white hats initiate a process of spiritual awakening. Each revelation contributes to raising humanity's frequency, enabling individuals to break free from the fear-based matrix imposed on them. Okay, to ensure this awakening unfolds smoothly, the White Hats use AI to monitor the collective's readiness for more significant disclosures. But this is a process, and it's not going to end next week. I don't care what any of these podcasters say. It's not going to be over when the Clarity Act gets passed. This is a war for consciousness, for thought, the thought stream. And if most people are focused on fear and survival, we need to involve each other in the process. That's why I think the Republic is so important. It gets you into the idea that we can control our lives. We don't have to be victims of this corporate governance. As people begin to awaken spiritually, they unlock latent empathic and psychic abilities that have been suppressed by generations of conditioning, rewiring generation-old genetic DNA blockage, also known as DNA light code activation. As people begin to awaken spiritually, they unlock latent empathic and psychic abilities, okay? Psychological dimension, fear and trauma versus mind liberation. We don't have to live in fear, and that's a big part of the awakening. The spiritual dimension of the battle centers around how the deep state controls perception through fear, division, and trauma. They've said that, right? Deep state psychological tactics. It's all. This is what's really happening. It's all about the hidden things in the Clarity Act that are designed to destroy you. That's what you need to focus on. Time after time. Okay, to manipulate, to maintain division, they amplify identity politics, right? So the white hats psychological approach, the white hats aim to liberate the public mind by gradually deprogramming people from these fear-based narratives. The Q movement plays a crucial role in this effort. Through controlled narrative drops, the white hats encourage individuals to question the mainstream narratives and engage in independent research. This fosters critical thinking and emotional resilience, breaking the cycle of manipulation, of genetic rewiring. So that's why, and, just to bring the patches in, this is, to a normie, this will sound airy fairy, but this works on your DNA, because a lot of the DNA can be energized by your spiritual condition. Emotional healing is also central to the White Hat psychological warranty. Okay, so quantum dimension. This is interesting. Shaping perception versus creating reality. And this is what I'm always talking about. On the quantum level, the battle is about the control of reality itself. The deep state manipulates human consciousness to create a distorted version of reality, one dominated by division, fear, and materialism, right? The deep state distorts reality by controlling the flow of information and shaping collective perspective. They have 30 different channels saying one phrase. That's MK Ultra. And the Mockingbird. That's the Mockingbird Press. I'm sorry. And so you hear it from this actress, and you hear it on this channel and that channel, and you start thinking that's really true. That's how they do it. The White Hat's quantum approach. In response, the White Hats are using high-frequency communication to break the illusion of deep state reality by releasing truths that carry an energetic frequency of love and unity. They reprogram the collective quantum field, shifting humanity towards a higher state of consciousness. This process is a form of fifth-generation warfare where consciousness itself is the battlefield. That in itself should tell you everything. Consciousness itself is the battlefield. I'm just going to scroll forward to the I'm skipping the societal dimension. The society aspects of the battle revolves around the deep state's effort to implement a technocratic dystopia. They envision a world where centralized control over technology, finance, and governance keeps the masses enslaved. You got to pay your bill. You got to pay your car payment. This is what they do. So the battle for reality, this is the conclusion, and I'll end with this. The battle between the White Hats and the deep state centers on the control of reality itself. The deep state uses communication to spread fear, division, and deception, trapping humanity in a false matrix of control. The White Hats, by contrast, are using truth, love, and advanced communication techniques to awaken humanity, elevate consciousness, and dismantle the systems of control that have dominated society for centuries. Through platforms like Twitter X, AI-driven feedback loops, and decentralized technologies like Starlink, the White Hats are reshaping reality. Their strategy transcends the deep state's manipulation by aligning with higher spiritual, psychological, and quantum principles, ensuring that humanity rises above fear and division into a new era of freedom, unity, and higher consciousness. The White Hats are not just fighting to expose corruption. They are guiding humanity towards the rebirth of civilization. Through the power of communication, they are helping to build a new world rooted in truth, love, and spiritual sovereignty. Our great-grandchildren will talk of this movement. Okay, so I think this is just a beautiful a summary of the Twitter use. I'm saddened by the news that only 17,000 have joined the Republic. Yeah, but it also should fire you up, Deb. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we owe you a phone call. We want to like hang with you a little bit. But there are only 2 spots open for my country, and I volunteered for one of them, but haven't heard back yet. So keep pushing them. We have to push. We have to force the Republic. We have to force the Republic to do what has to be done. We're not just sitting back idly, but Deb, you're on the money, baby, and I'm really proud of you. Deb invested in the X2O machine, and she says that things are really going well for her. She really enjoys it. This is a war. We are at a war. It is not going to be over next week. I don't care what any podcasters are telling you, that it's all going to be over by July 4th. this, my opinion, has been growing on this issue, because I have a friend that we're visiting with, who's staying up here, and I encourage you, if you want to exchange deep ideas with us, and you want to hang out with us, and you want to come visit us, we're not a hotel, but we want to help. We want to save humanity. We want to see humanity get through this impasse, this little narrow place. That's what leaving Mitzrayim, that's what leaving the Matrix is all about. Remember, in Hebrew, Mitzrayim, Egypt, means the narrow place, the place of constriction, the place of fear, the place of domination by BlackRock and the Mockingbird Press and all these things. We are liberating ourselves, and we are fighting forward, and we're joining the Republic. Don't be discouraged. This should make us just all the more excited because we can do it. And listen, man, I just remember the 60s. I remember going into a building in White Plains, New York on Earth Day. Nobody ever heard of Earth Day before. It was a brand new thing. And there were 3 of us there that said, well, let's hand out flyers. And you see, Earth Day is now a huge thing. But magnify that times a million and talk about the Republic. The Republic is essential for the continuity and the continuance of human consciousness. So it's gonna happen. The question is, can we rev it up? And I say we can. So yeah, I salute you, Deb, for joining. We also joined. We're doing it, and like I said earlier, the idea of joining the local government is repulsive to me, because it's all about corruption and payoffs and all that nonsense. But the idea of joining the local republic is thrilling, and it's nothing can stop what's coming. I'm not saying that we should be discouraged in any way. We should just be, we have been waiting through this. We were the ones who didn't fall for all their medications and all their poison food, and we're working on our diet, and we're working on ourselves, and we're moving into the next stage of reality. So you are the warriors. You are the champions. Let's play our tune. And yeah, I have to do it this way.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the Matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the Matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control, left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
So we're leaving the matrix. We're heading for the promised land. Just don't be discouraged. Just this is a war, and we are stepping up to the plate. We are joining the republic. We're moving. This channel has moved the republic forward in a lot of ways that they weren't able to do. We've really helped the republic, and so do not be discouraged. We're just getting started. This is a war, and at the end, it's worth fighting. Because we're talking about the survival of the species. We're talking about survival of humanity. We're talking about a new world that we are part of developing. It's an amazing thing. So may force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. Use the force. Use the force. We got this. May source be with you. May you realize that you are the source. You are the creative source of your own reality. That's what they're talking about, of quantum reality. It is up to us to steer the boat in a direction that is unbelievable, that is wonderful and creative and goodly. So let's get out there. I may be a little late tomorrow night. I don't know, but it looks like I may be a little late, but I apologize in advance. But we're getting through the week. Today's only Tuesday, right? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So only Tuesday. So just, let's get out there with a big smile on our face because we got this. It's a war, but we got this, and we're used to waiting. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow evening. We're in for the long haul. So let's get out there with a big smile on our